Hi guys! So today I have an Alishan oolong that I haven't opened yet, and I'm also going to show you how to use a Gaiwan. So this will be fun. So to begin with, I went to Alishan about a month ago for my birthday, and I've always wanted to go. It's been on my bucket list for a really long time. Finally went. The tea was absolutely fantastic. I learned so much. Bought a lot of tea, and then I bought this one specific tea from this one guy just because he was really nice to me, and I'm very excited to try it. Comes in this really cute tin. It has the Alishan Railway on it, which I didn't take because we took motorbikes, but I hear it's very beautiful, so maybe next time. It comes with a test report because the tea guy was very strong on, you know, like there's no pesticides, no chemicals, it's all naturally grown. And I just think this is a really nice touch. So I actually have some leaves from the tea farm. I think it's very cool. This is the leaves after they've been picked. So I will show you the before, and then once we brewed it, the size and everything is going to be very different. Okay, so to begin with, the word Gaiwan, in Chinese it's pronounced Gaiwan, like those tones. And the Gai means lidded and the Wan means bowl. So it literally just translates to lidded bowl, which makes a lot of sense, one could argue. Okay, I have a note about the packaging in Taiwan. So as you can see here, it says Alishan, the name of the mountain range, and it has the train line on it. And you're probably thinking, wow, this is so cool, like whatever. This is real because the guy was really nice, so it was definitely real. But for some tea people, I have noticed, they will have really low quality tea and they will package it in a bag that suggests that it's high quality. So when you're buying tea around the world and also in Taiwan, make sure to just like speak to the people and check that the tea that you're buying is the tea that's also in the bag. So the Gaiwan, I believe, is from the Ming Dynasty, which was 1368 to 1644. And it was really popular amongst people like monks and scholars because it's very portable. And not only is it portable, but it's easy to control once you know how to use it. And you can see the leaves as they kind of brew, you can smell it, it's more of an experience rather than a teapot where it's closed and you don't really get to see as much. Okay, to begin with, I'm going to cut this bag the Taiwanese way. I've only seen it in Taiwan, maybe it's not a Taiwanese thing, but you cut it so that it's like this, because then when you pour it, it's going to have this little like spout. Ingenious. So the first thing that we're going to do is clean the tiwa. This is just to, it's already been pre-washed in theory, just to kind of get rid of any dust or any lingering things, and also to warm everything up. So you'll see why in a minute. This is my first time using this Gaiwan, and it's actually a little bit different to normal Gaiwans because in a usual Gaiwan, the lid has a dip at the top where you can put your finger, and this has this instead. So I've warmed up the vessels. I'm feeding my tea pets. Today they are two little frogs with massive eyebrows. I got them from Inga, the pottery town in Taiwan. It's very close where I live. And then there's some discussion as to how many grams you're going to put into the Gaiwan. So in traditional Gongfu cha, people use between 5 and 8 grams, whereas I know some Western sellers will use only 1 gram. Now in modern Gongfu cha, and for many people such as well, I tend to do it by sight and by vibe, but a lot of people do around 3 grams. Now that's enough to ensure that there's flavour, but not so much that it's going to be super overwhelming. So I've poured the leaves into my pre-washed Gaiwan, and it's still warm from the hot water. So I'm going to... Fantastic. The heat has loosened a bit of the aroma, and it smells like milk, it's creamy, it's floral, it's everything that you'd want from a high mountain oolong such as Alishan. I don't know the cultivar, but I'm going to say it's Jinchuan just from vibes. Oh, this is so exciting, guys. It literally, you know a Malteser when you buy all of the chocolate off of the outside and you just have the malt and there's no more either? Anyway, that is what it smells like. It smells malty. Malty is the word. So a lot of people get rid of the first brew. I will be honest, it's just because like with pu-erhs, you would obviously like wash it so that you get rid of dust and any like little things that you don't want. With oolong, especially Taiwanese oolong, it's definitely not necessary. But for me personally, I like to get to the stronger brews a little bit faster. So just by washing it, I'm opening up the leaves a tiny, tiny amount. And then I get to give some to my tea pets, so everyone's happy. So then to talk about how to actually use a Gaiwan. So I personally would recommend it for just full leaf teas, you know, like pu-erh, green tea, red tea, etc. I wouldn't use it for CTC tea, where the leaves are being cut or if the leaves are super small, just because they're gonna fall out of that little gap. One thing to note about the Gaiwan is your hand should be dry, just because if it's wet and you're holding it, it might slip and you might blame me, so please don't do that. Then the way that you're going to hold the Gaiwan is, actually I'm going to show you another Gaiwan just for the sake of the video. So usually the Gaiwan will be like this, like it has that little indent, and that's perfect because that's where this finger is going to go. You're going to like knuckle it, and then you're going to put the lid on, put your thumb on this side and then your second finger on this side. This is how I was taught at Taiwanese tea school. If it doesn't feel comfortable, that's fine, I will show you another way. The way that I and a lot of other tea people do it is you use this finger and you just kind of hold it. Like you can really dig it in there, and then again you use these two fingers and you pour. I personally find this way so much more comfortable, I have so much more control. I can do this with it, I know it's not going to fall. Another thing that you can do is hold it, like especially with big Gaiwans, you can hold it like this. This again is very steady, it's super stable, nothing is going to happen probably. Another way is you could just use the thumb, this finger, and then your third finger like this, and then you have this little finger extra. This is how I was doing it for a really long time. I just feel like it's fun, like you can have extra support on the lid, like it's really up to you. So this Gaiwan, because it's weird and it doesn't have that little indent, is I'm going to pour it that last way where I have the thumb, these two fingers, and then the third finger here, just to kind of hold that little nib and stop anything from falling. This is probably something that's going to take a bit of time to get used to, that's okay, tea is a process. So long as you're having fun whilst doing it, everything's chill. So then when you're pouring it, you're going to position the lid so that there's maybe a 0.4 mil gap, just so that it catches all of the leaves and stops everything from just falling straight in. Maybe even smaller, actually looking at it, maybe 0.2, just as small as you can get it without closing it. Of course you can do it a lot wider, that's okay. I find it harder to control, and then all of the leaves are going to come out. So if you have a strainer, cool, go for it. I don't, so that's not for me, I guess. And then when you pour, you're going to angle this bit of your hand so that it kind of does this. That way, when the steam comes up, it's not going to burn you. And then one other thing to consider is don't twist your hand when you're pouring. So if I'm holding the Gaiwan like this and I pour it like this, it's going to go all over my thumb and I'm going to cry. So just make sure that it's between these two fingers, whichever fingers you're using, and it can come out like this. So when you're pouring the water, a lot of people will not pour directly on the leaves, they will instead pour on the rim of the Gaiwan. This is so that it doesn't go directly onto the leaves because apparently it gets more bitter. It's up to you, I personally can't really tell the difference unless it's a very delicate tea. So just pour it however you feel. So the water's in here, I have the little gap, my finger position is weird but it's fine. The thing that you're going to notice when you pour the water is don't pour so much into the bottom of the Gaiwan that it reaches this bit of the lid. Just because when you pour it, it's going to be too much and you might get burned or you might spill it or you might drop the Gaiwan. So just don't add an excessive amount of water. If you do add too much water, that's fine. A lot of Gaiwans come with this saucer, so you can just kind of get rid of excess water like this, and then you're not going to get burnt. When holding the Gaiwan, you're going to want to go from the top, because if you go from the bottom, it's going to hurt, it's going to be really hot. Also, it's really difficult to hold, whereas here, it's fine. A lot of people worry that too high you're going to drop it, but I mean, it's lidded. So long as you have some pressure both sides, not too much, because then you're going to feel the heat a little bit more, you will be fine. Also, when some people add the water to the Gaiwan, I'll add like a little image here, they will add the water and then they'll like do this with the lid to get the leaves to go down, and I just think that's really fun. So when I'm pouring the tea, I'm going to pour it like this, so that it comes between here. I have that little cave here, and I have a grip that's steady, but it's not like super tight, you know? And then I can actually make the tea. This is my first time using this Gaiwan, and it's very cute. It really is not the most convenient, but it feels very like Lunar New Year-y. So that's fun, I think. With Alishan, I personally would brew it for maybe 20 seconds. For the first one, a lot of people are different. Some people say 30, some people say 40. My tea teacher says 52 specifically. If you don't do it at 52, it's going to be ruined and your whole day is going to suck. But I mean, I do it maybe 20 seconds. It depends. It depends how I feel. Wow, this Gaiwan is so odd, but it is very cute. And then I'm pouring it the same way, you know, like I'm avoiding my thumb and this finger. I have this, which maybe you can see better from this angle. And then we have the first brew. It's a very small Gaiwan. I don't know if you can tell the difference. I think this one has a capacity of maybe 80, and then this one's probably about 110, 120. Oh man, it's so freaking good. Oh my god, this is one of the best fragrances I've ever smelled in tea. It's very caramelly. It's a bit like milk chocolate buttons. The liqueur is very clear, and it has all the tiny hairs, which is good. You know what? It tastes a little bit like a white strawberry. Like a white strawberry that's been dipped in white chocolate. This is 100% the spring harvest, without a doubt. It is so light, it's so clean, it's so fresh. So good. Man, I need to get more of this guy's tea. Also, did you guys know that back in the day, when people were drinking tea, like within the dynasties and stuff, the women would drink their tea like this because they'd have big sleeves and it would kind of hide their mouths and make them look like a little bit more coy. Also, so I'm holding these two fingers quite low, and I wouldn't normally, it's just because the lid's a bit odd. But if you find that it's burning your fingers a little bit, just put it down. Like, you don't need to suffer and go through the pain in order to be like a tea person. You don't have to have boiling hot water against your fingers. So I hope that you guys have learned a little bit about how to use the Gaiwan. I may have gone off track somewhat. But if you learned anything, please let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, I love questions. Please give me questions, and I will see you at another point to drink more tea. So, bye.